Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because this is a question that I've been getting for a long time. We're going to get right into exactly how you manifest self-love. So if that is something that you are interested in, kind of bettering yourself and kind of making yourself the best you can be, make sure you go ahead and give me a good like and a subscribe button because there's going to be more videos like this coming soon. Only subscribe and like if you truly love yourself though. Okay, so all the time as I make my way around town and live my life, I'm always asked, why am I so happy? And this is always a question that always boggles my mind because immediately in my mind I always think, why aren't you so happy? It's really interesting to see the types of things that people allow them to control their lives, whether it be family members or negative situations or boyfriends or anything like that. You have to truly be in control of your own destiny. You have to really listen to yourself and you have to really understand who you are before you can even throw yourself into the limelight or before you can throw yourself into a relationship with somebody, whether it be a new friendship or a boyfriend or girlfriend. One of the first parts of self-love is truly understanding yourself. This could be asking yourself a million questions a day, but you have to make sure you also give yourself an answer. You can't sit there and ask yourself all these questions all day long, but then ignore the person who's asking the questions. You have to answer the questions in your mind. You have to make sure you get the answers that you feel bring you to the place of happiness. You don't want to have things that are unanswered in your mind because it's going to lead to just conflict. You're going to feel lost, you're going to feel scatterbrained. So if you come to a question in your mind about yourself that you truly have to explore, make sure you get on Google or get on the internet or talk to a friend or whatever you need to do, or sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Have a seat and truly meditate the answer to what's going on in your mind. The sooner you have answers to the questions in your head, the sooner you're gonna love yourself and the better it's gonna be for you and everyone around you. You're gonna truly start to manifest that self-love and people are gonna rate, and that energy is gonna come off of you and they're gonna be they're going to be into the energy that you're giving off because they're going to want to learn how they can love themselves like that too. And this is the type of energy that you want to be giving out to people. You want to show people that they can also live a life like this. You don't want them to be hating themselves or hating a boyfriend or hating a friend or be in a really bad mind frame because of someone else. You want to always remind them that self-love comes from within, and the sooner that they find it from themselves, the sooner that people around them will be happier and their lives will definitely become more enhanced. The second part about self-love is kind of backing up to that first part as well. After you know yourself and you get those questions about what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you angry, you want to go ahead and feed that. You want to find out, okay, I found out that singing at the top of my lungs with 3 Broadway numbers full out in my room with choreography makes me happy. So the second part I'm going to do for that self-love and acting on it is making it come true. I'm going to sing those full Broadway numbers out in my room with choreography because that is what makes my soul sing. You want to find out in part 1 what makes you happy, what makes your soul sing. And then moving on to part 2, you want to make sure you do that thing. So whether it's reading a book or going to the beach for the day or just doing yoga for the day, walking your dogs, you want to find out the thing that makes you sing, the thing that makes your heart sing and makes you happy. The important part about this part here is you want to remember self-love. So if you're writing down what makes you happy or what makes your heart sing and it ends up being a person or it ends up being a situation with someone somewhere else and it's something that's out of your grasp, you're going to let yourself down. So you want to make sure that you find things that make you happy that you can give yourself, whether it be that alone time with a book or whether it be video games or whether it be singing at the top of your lungs or performing that number or creatively making something that makes you excited. You want to make sure you do that thing because that's the thing that's going to make you happy, and that's the thing that's going to, again, you're giving yourself that self-love. You've assessed your body, you've assessed your mind, and you've asked yourself what makes you happy, and you've asked yourself what makes you tick and what makes you sad, and then you go ahead and you act on those things. You stay away from those things that make you sad, you stay away from those things that make you unhappy, and you start to lean towards those things that only make you smile. You lean towards the things that only make you break a sweat and keep you super happy and keep your endorphins up. And then the more and more you practice this, what ends up happening is you ask yourself more of those questions and you find more of those things that make your soul sing. You find more of those things that make you super happy. And then before you know it, you have a whole bunch of things that you can go to to when you're feeling down about yourself. You don't have to feel like you have to run towards someone, or that you feel alone because you don't have someone to speak to, because you've already assessed yourself, and you're manifesting self-love by assessing yourself and answering the questions that you want to know about yourself. And by answering those questions, you're going to be able to enjoy life a lot better, because you're going to know what makes you tick, what makes you happy. And that's pretty important. People are trying to impress someone, whether it be a friend or a boyfriend or something like that, and they're constantly trying to figure out what makes them tick, what makes them happy. What can you do to make sure that they are the happiest that they can be? Like, what can you wear? What can you say? What can you do to really enchant them? I'm gonna go with the idea that you should really just truly be yourself. More and more that you're yourself, the better that they're gonna probably see you in a brighter light. You don't wanna go ahead and start to become something that you're not, or start to change yourself because you realize that they like one thing over the other, because what that's going to end up doing is creating a false identity, whether it be with a friendship or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You don't want to go through so much of trying to please them and get on their good grace that you end up becoming something 2 or 3 years later that's not yourself. And then you have to break it to them that that's not you, and then you guys end up in some type of relationship that's a little bit messy. The third part of manifesting that self-love and keeping it all around you is seeking no validation. So what I mean by this is, if you creatively draw a picture, or you paint a face, or whatever you do, or you make a clay sculpture, whatever it is that you do that makes you happy, you don't have to take 1,000 pictures of it and upload it. You don't have to stick it in the center of like town square and have hundreds of people come up and applaud for it. You want to make sure that whatever art you're doing, or whatever you've realized that makes you happy, makes you tick, makes you super excited about life, whatever that thing is for you, you want to make sure that you create it and you take a step back and you kind of absorb it yourself. So if you take a couple hours to yourself, and you realize that's what makes you happy, is painting a picture, and you paint that picture and you take a step back, and the first thing you do is upload it to Instagram to show everybody, that's you seeking validation. You don't want to go ahead and create something or make something out from your heart that you chose to do on a soul search and then immediately go ahead and put it out for the world to see, because what's going to end up happening is you might not get the answers that you want. You might not get the support that you want, and that's going to immediately kind of shut down your own self-love and your own self-validation. So you want to make sure that you create things for yourself as well as create things for out there. Is extremely important. So you do want to make sure that you create things to show people what you're feeling and get that feedback and things and stuff like that, as well as I always do. But you also want to make sure that you have those personal projects, those projects that kind of make you smile, make you gleam, and that are a little bit more private, that they're just for you, that you're able to act out on creativity that you might not be able to do if you realize you were sharing it with the world. So you want to have those things that are private for you, that kind of enhance who you are behind closed doors. The last part would just be to go ahead and repeat all these things. Like I said, you want to make sure you keep going every day. Ask those questions in your mind and give yourself those answers. Give yourself the answers, and once you know what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you angry, what makes you sad, what makes you squirt, what makes you everything, you go ahead and you put those things into effect, and you do the things that make you happy. And before you know it, your self-love is going to be through the roof. And when it goes through the roof, you're going to only manifest more. And when you have that around you, and you have that self-love and other people who love themselves, just going to grow together. You're going to grow in a way that is a little bit more independent. You're not going to always have to lean on each other. You're not going to always have to, as this goes on and you practice this method, you're going to realize that when things go wrong, you're not always going to have to dial someone out or call someone or do something. You're going to become very mentally independent. And that's what I'm just trying to spread out. I'm just trying to give that awareness that you can kind of manifest that self-love destiny, and you can kind of manifest that energy that you can take care of yourself. So you shouldn't always feel like you have to reach out or find someone, or you need someone to take care of you, or all those things, because a lot of the answers that we have and a lot of the solutions are already inside our minds. You just kind of have to dig a little bit deeper and know yourself a little bit more. And once you do that, things are going to get a lot more easier for you. I just want to make sure you guys are really getting out there and admiring the beauty in the world. Self-love also just comes from making sure you're out there using all of your senses. You want to get out to the park. You want to get out there to be around nature. You want to really absorb the things that you see, the food, the trees, the wind. All these things is just really making you appreciate your senses. And a lot of times when you're in a group of people or you're around a lot of people all the time, you're constantly using you're constantly just like feeding off of each other's energy. You're not really focused on your own energy. So going out into nature and paying attention to your own senses is another way to just make sure that you're practicing that self-love and you're really, really appreciating all the things that you're able to do in this life that's been given to you. And after you do things like this, small positive affirmations, they're gonna grow into bigger ones, and you're gonna start to notice even more things that you're grateful for, beyond just those small senses. So I did want to go ahead and add that for you guys. I think that's super important for you guys to understand that a lot of that self-love really just comes from that exploration of using the things that we've had all along. Your smell, your feel, your sight. These are things that have been there, but have we really been grateful for them? And going out and using them and having them at their highest degree is going to remind you of how grateful you are for this life and the things that we've been given. So you want to go ahead and practice those thoughts and practice that self-love manifestation and that gratefulness, and it's going to come back full circle to you guys. I just know it. All right? Small thought. Have a good day. Love everyone. Recycle. Don't let the ice caps melt. Be cute. Be kind. Mwah. Watching this video, especially if you're with me from beginning to end. I look forward to doing things like this. I want to kind of speak my mind on manifesting the energy that I've had over the years, whether that be, you know, whether when it was good and when it was bad and when I was going through things, and just kind of giving you examples of how I got out of dark moments and got to the light that I'm in today. I look forward to sharing more of this journey with you. If you like this video and you want to see more things like this, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you guys at the next video. Thank you.